Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to Cat Ninjas. So, unlike we do the DILR and quants, we will do a short strategy session, pretty short one. So, because this would be a burning questions in many people's mind, many of the students' mind that, hey, how many hours one should prepare for CAT, right? That could be the most burning question as we start the countdown, right? So if we had a luxury of counting three-digit numbers days. What do you mean by counting three-digit numbers? What I meant is we had days beyond 100 days, right? So it's all three-digit number. Very soon, we'll start counting 99 days to CAT, 98 days to CAT, 97 days to CAT. That does add up some pressure. The luxury of four-digit number different from having three-digit number, they're different from having two-digit number. When the countdown begins, when it comes approaches from 100 to 99 to 98, the pressure also peaks up, no doubt about it. So therefore, the fundamental question comes in the mind is, how many hours I should prepare as we entered into a two-digit number, right? That is nothing but the number of days have started to fall into a double digit. So how much time I should prepare? So before that, there are three kinds of students who prepare for CAT. I mean, I will put my students, or I will put them, categorize them into three groups. One, the most privileged category, luxury of time they have. That is, they finished their graduation and they have not taken up any assignment, which means they have not taken up any work or any internship, just that they just completed their graduation in the month of May, June, July, whenever they completed it, and they have all the time on earth, which means from now to November they don't have any other commitments. That's category number one. The category number two, yes, they are in the college, they're in the final year of their graduation. They might finish their graduation in the month of April, May, June of next year, but then along with their graduating studies, they are also balancing the CAT preparation. That is the second set of students. Third set of students, yes, they are going to office, they have their commitments at the office, and after office hours or along with that office, they have to balance their CAT preparation. Let us consider these are the three category of students. I will try and speak from all these three perspectives as I go along. Okay, let me just check it out whether the audio is clear or not. Let me open up the chat as well. Let me quickly see, because I go on to speak, and if the audio is not clear, the video is not clear, it would be a disaster. Yeah. Let me check. Meanwhile, in the chat, you guys also can give the confirmation. Yeah, it's all clear. Right. Great. Okay. Well, all right. So before I do, quickly, let me give this introduction of mine. So I have worked with various test prep industries in the last 14 years, ever since 2007, in various capacities. I've developed how to train students on QA, DI, and DLR particularly, although I'm fairly good with verbal ability as well, and I've consistently scored 99 plus percentile in CAT whenever I have taken the test. And if you want to follow me, if you want to ask me any questions post the session, anytime, you can use this Telegram group. Yes, it appears cumbersome, no doubt about it, but yes, you can also you can take it down, note it down somewhere, and then you can pin me there. So, and you can pin my name, then I will definitely address your concern. That's fairly about this. All right, let's jump start into. Okay, let me also do quick announcements before I get into the lecture. So there are Unacademy offers two types of subscriptions. One is the plus and the other one is the iconic. I will soon be taking the lectures on the plus as well. The idea is to do the structured courses. There is a difference between preparing for a structured versus non-structured. I will be the structured courses is what you are looking at. Definitely, Plus is one of the programs, and you are looking at proper handholding with respect to your schedules, with respect to material, the test analysis, personal guidance. Then Iconic would be the program that you could be looking at, and these are the subscription fees. This is what the subscription fees, and you will get a flat 10% off if you use the code that is my name, Belvi 100, right? Belvi 100, you get 10% off on the fees which is mentioned there, not 100%. Yeah. So Iconic subscription, these are the fees for the Iconic subscription. All right, let's get into this. The second thing, that one important thing that happens during this point in time could be, so you have to check, am I powered and driven by powered and driven by, definitely we are all powered and driven by our mind and emotions. no doubt about it. All right, the most important is the mind. But yes, during these days, you start experiencing a little bit of fear, right? You start experiencing fear. I'm not trying to induce any fear. This is the normal thing. So yeah, because I counsel so many students, even appearing for exams like NEET and appearing for exams like IIT JEE, not only CAT, because I do counsel and wonder, people call me, I'm good at counseling as well. Pretty practical at counseling, practical at suggesting. That's what people say. So from that, so I have seen in most of them, even 2, 3 days before the exams, people come and speak to me saying that I'm pretty scared, right? The CAT students, even CAT students, 3 days before, they break their nerves and they'll say, I'm pretty scared what to do. Ultimately, they get into IMC, IMB, etc. When I counsel them, it's not because of my counseling. They just need somebody to speak at that point in time, and they find me as one of the companions at this point in time. Nevertheless, that doesn't matter. So fear is one of the things which is going to grip us as we enter this particular zone, right? So let's be very clear. Let's be very clear on that. So how to conquer the fear? Very simple. One simple way to conquer the fear at this point in time. Now, after 10 days before the CAT, how to conquer fear is different. 5 days before CAT, how to conquer fear is different. 100 days, around 100 days to CAT, how to conquer fear is different. Now, the way to conquer the fear, or it could be through the preparation, right? Through the preparation, if you prepare in a very systematic way, so if you stay focused and if there is a discipline in your preparation, so then definitely all it will mitigate the fear. I'm not saying that the fear becomes zero. No, it will definitely mitigate the fear because preparation instills confidence. A structured preparation will instill a lot of confidence in the individual. The confidence is the way you overcome the fear. Any which way. So let now keeping that in mind. So what I'm saying is, hey, be driven by focus, be attentive. All right, in the sense like have the right attention, have stay focused with your preparation, stay focused on what should be done today, or let's stay focused on what should be done or what is your plan looking like, right? So things like that. Be disciplined in your preparation. It is not that you prepare sometimes, you don't prepare sometimes. The intensity keeps changing day by day. No, all it now stay with the right intention, right intensity, the discipline, the efforts, all right, the kind of effort that we put should be much more consistent. Doing once in a while doesn't help. The effort should be back to back and it should be consistent till that iron rod becomes red hot. You can't say that, okay, I will heat that rod for 10 minutes, then I will allow it to cool it down. Again, I heat it for 10 minutes. Hey, you can never shape it like that. Precisely, exactly that way the mind works. You cannot shape it saying that I go intense for some time and then I will make it lax. All it now relax it. Lax is what? Relax it. No, you will not relax it. You stay with that intensity for a while till it takes a shape. The mind has to take a shape with respect to that particular skill. All right, good. So I hope already you are kind of understanding what I'm trying to say. So that leads to the success or the failure. That's what we are trying to call here. Coming to the main point, because I don't want to deviate much, it's not about a motivational talk or something. I thought it's very important for you to remind you about this because we all get into the grip of fear as we approach the exam. Coming to this, let's see. I'll let know three category of students: non-compromisable parameters versus compromisable parameters. First, let me allocate the time for the non-negotiable parameters. What is non-negotiable? Sleep is non-negotiable, right? Both for you and me, the sleep is non-negotiable. Why do we sleep? We sleep to recover. More sleep is not required. Less sleep is also not correct because we have to sleep. Adequate sleep is required because we have to recover from the tiredness of the rigor that we have gone through. If you have gone through the rigor, you have to, at the moment you get up, you should feel that, okay, I have all the energy in place. For that, the people of your age, right? People of your age might need a sleep of 6 to 7 hours, right? People of your age, because I'm sure the audience, all it know the what you are listening to me are somewhere about 20 years. You are into your 20s, so you need about 6 to 7 hours of sleep. The babies may need about 18 hours of sleep. The doctors would say that a baby has to sleep for 16 to 18 hours, all at 18 hours per day. That's right, all it. But as we grow, all it now our sleep cycle changes. And again, as we grow older, our sleep cycle changes. For your age, it should be about 6 to 7 hours of sleep. That is what you say. So it doesn't matter whether you are only preparing for CAT or you are preparing for college and CAT, you are going to office and also you are preparing for CAT. Doesn't matter which category you belong. Sleep is one of the non-negotiable parameters. Remember, You sleep until you recover. When you get up, you should feel fresh. Otherwise, you will not be able to use that particular day effectively, because effectiveness is what I'm looking at. I don't want a day to be dull and boring. I'm in a half mood to do things, a half baked kind of cake. No, I'm not looking at something like that, right? Okay. Second thing, food depends. All depends on the cultures. All right, for some, all food, the entire day's food won't consume more than 1 hour. So for some families, the food, the snack, etc., might go up to 2 hours. Beyond that, may not be really required. Restrict it somewhere between 1 to 2 hours for food. Food can include your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, your snacking time. So all of that put together, enjoy your food, because that is what sends the source of energy. You need energy to perform. Therefore, enjoy the right food. Don't eat too much of junk food, etc. So therefore, ensure that you eat right kind of food, which has all kind of vitamins. All right, it has vitamins because it will protect you from your diseases. It should have proteins. All right, now it should have proteins. All right, because that's what builds your brain, your builds your muscles, etc. You need to have the carbohydrates, because that is what sends the energy. All right, you lack energy when you eat less carbohydrate, right? So therefore, ensure that your diet has vitamins, proteins, and carbohydrates. So you are understandable. Now I don't want to speak science between this. Have healthy food. That's my point. Don't try to eat more of junk food, because that will not send you the right kind of energy, etc. Because you need to stay a lot more energetic the entire 90 days or these 100 days to perform. You can't afford to lose a single day, right? That's the whole point we are trying to make out here. Grooming, yes, it's very important. All right, we have to keep ourselves well groomed, well equipped, so that we feel like performing. The performance comes with proper grooming as well. We all may be at home. Most of us may be staying back at home most of the time. I'm sure some of you may be going to office and colleges as well, but that doesn't matter. So grooming has to be given adequate time, maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour. I don't know how much time, but be well groomed when you sit for studies. That will definitely bring in a lot of energy there. So maybe all the grooming includes the morning, evening, afternoon, whatever the time, freshing up time I'm talking about. Exercise, very important, my friends. Exercise, physical exercise, because we are all locked down and we are kind of sitting inside the house. Hey, an hour of exercise. Hour does not mean 1 hour, but the whole of that cycle, because you may have to put up the right kind of attire to exercise, then you take a bath after that exercise. That cycle may take up about an hour's time, right? Somewhere about an hour's time. But ensure exercise is important, because that keeps your brain sharper. That helps you to breathe in good oxygen. Because you breathe in good oxygen, naturally you feel a lot more energetic to perform through that particular day. So it doesn't matter which time I should do exercise. I'm not here to give the piece of advice on all those things. I'm saying that please inculcate non-negotiable. What I'm saying is sleep is non-negotiable, food is non-negotiable, grooming is non-negotiable, exercise is non-negotiable, because your brain will work a lot more better. Lot functioning is better. Your memory increases. Forget all of that. The one good important thing about the exercise is what? Your memory would be sharper. Hey, come on, we all need a great memory, because we have to remember rules of grammar. We need to understand the vocab. We need to remember the mathematical formulas, methods we should remember, approaches in LRDI we should remember. If I don't have the adequate memory, how I'm going to do all of this? Right? So, okay, keeping that in mind, let's understand that exercise is very, very important. All right. Yeah. Both for you and me, because I also need to keep myself fit mentally, right? Mentally, and also I need to remember what I have to teach. So for that, even I need to do exercise. You need to do, I need to do. No human being has a choice in this matter, as far as I understand. All right, coming to this recreation, I'm not sure. So recreation can be reading a book, etc., but definitely it should not consume more than 1 hour of time, right? Okay, if you do this calculation, if you do all this particular calculation for only CAT prep students, if you are preparing only for CAT, in the sense, okay, you completed your graduation and all the time you have is only for the CAT prep, you get 12 to 14 hours of buffer time in a day. That is 7 plus 2, 9, 10, 11, 12. You get 12 to 14 hours. Now, out of these many hours per day, how many hours I should use? All right, we will think of it. Second part is how I should use. Okay, I get this much time, but how do I use this time? I will speak about it in a while from now. All right, in a quick while, maybe the next 2 3 minutes, I'll speak about that. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. The second parameter, what if you are going to the college and you are also preparing for CAT? College and CAT. Sure, all right, college might take about 6 days. It could be Monday to Friday. For some people, Monday to Saturday. I'm not sure. Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday. Your college work can be about 6 hours. Some of you may complain saying that no, I study in such a college, they take 8 hours. So maybe already in your case that could be true. Otherwise, generally, I'm talking from very generic perspective. If you stay focused and you stay focused in the college and the assignment activities, on an average, it shouldn't take more than 6 hours. I'm not saying day by day. I'm taking this calendar is Monday to Friday. There may be little ups and downs here and there, but let me understand that. Let us understand and take stock of what exactly is happening with our 24 hours, right? Similarly, if somebody is going to office, stay committed all at there, you may have to work for about 8 to 9 hours, right? So but if you stay focused, and if you stay focused on your work, and you refrain from office gossips, unnecessary politics at office, etc., you stay focused and get the work done, maybe about 8 hours should be a good time. Some of you may say that no, I need to log in for 10 hours, etc., but your working hours can be about 8 hours is what I guess, right? So in that case, you will have 4 to 6 hours per day, 6 to 8 hours per day. Now let me do a calculation. Probably out of these 12 to 14 hours, right, 12 to 14 hours, only CAT prep students can use somewhere about 8 to 10 hours. Depends on your capacity. You can use about 8 to 10 hours for your CAT prep. Now, so if you are going to the college, this entire 6 to 8 hours has to be used. There is no choice in the matter, because you are trying to balance two activities. Definitely, because you are trying to balance two activities while you sit for the CAT interview, not at the written stage. In the interview stage, naturally that would be appreciated by the interviewer. In the sense, you will get some brownie points for it, because you've been handling two activities very well. Similar thing happens with the office goers as well, because at the end of the day, we are all humans. We understand along with this office, you handled this kind of CAT score. Naturally, there will be some due credit given during the interview stage, not during the written test stage. Written test, you have to perform and do well. So yes, but for the final selection perspective, your efforts of multitasking would be appreciated for sure, right? So that's there. Okay, coming to this, use all these 6 to 8 hours, how much ever you get, 6, 7, 8. Office going people use all these 4 to 6 hours. Minimum is 4. Less than 4, I'm not happy. Minimum 4, 4, 5, 6 hours. That is what you use. Coming to the actual calculation, now let me go per week. What happens in a week? If you are going to office, let's say you are getting on an average 4 to 6, let me take a middle number, say 5 hours per day you are getting. Monday to Friday is 5 hours, you will get about 25 hours. Monday to Friday, assume that yours is a 5-day office work. Monday to Friday, 25 hours is what you are going to get. Plus on a Saturday, what happens? These 8 hours of office is not there on a Saturday. Add this to 5 hours, right? On Saturday you can squeeze in another 13 hours, right? That is 8 plus, all right, 8 plus, all right, now these 5 hours that you're talking, okay, give a little bit of relaxation, say that okay, you can work up to 10 hours, another 10 hours. So roughly I would say that hey, you will get in a week about 45 to 50 hours. Even if you say that 10 hours is good enough on a weekend, because you may have to prepare mentally yourself for the weekdays, once again you will get about 45 to 50 hours. Okay, now here are the people, those who are spending all 7 days about 8 to 10 hours, right? So you may be getting somewhere about 55 to 60, 55 to 65 hours. Let's say this is the time that you will be getting. And people, all of those who are work college as well as CAT preparation. So if you take an average 7 hours per day, all of that you get 7 into 5 or 7 into 6. Generally colleges work 6 days a week, as far as I understand, right? That would sum up to about 42 hours. Maybe on Sunday you can spend another 10 hours, which will come to about 50 hours. So on an average, I would say that if you are working, you get about 45 to 50 hours. If you are going to college, you too still get about 50 hours. Those who are not going to college, which means you have the luxury of preparing only for CAT, you get somewhere about 60 plus hours, right? So that's the kind of calculation. Now, having understood this, okay, we are all on an average getting either 50 to 60 hours kind of average. How I should prepare these 50 to 60 hours? That is the next burning question. This week by week, these 60 hours, what I should be doing? I'll give a very I will give all it now macro structure. Micro structures can vary from person to person, individual to individual, based on their strengths and weaknesses, because some of you might be champions in math olympiad, therefore your quant will be very good. Some of you would be voracious readers because you studied in such convents that there was a English, there was a English lab, or just like a math lab or a physics lab. People have English labs. You studied there. You will be fantastic readers. You will be reading at a speed of 450 to 500 words per minute. Therefore, how much effort you put on verbal will be very minuscule, because you will be already fantastic at that skill. So therefore, the skills developed so far. You can't say that in the last 20 years I didn't develop any skill. No, I don't believe in that. So definitely, all it based on your pedagogy and the backgrounds, you would have developed a little bit of skills. Therefore, each SWOT, each one of our SWOT might be little different. Therefore, how we allocate this time could be different from individual to individual, but as a broader scale. On a broader scale, I will kind of give certain amount of understanding to you that might help in your preparation. Before I do that, okay, I will be taking at 10 p.m. today. I'll be taking a lecture on time, speed, distance. If you're following me or you would like to, just look at all. We'll be discussing circular races tonight, and tomorrow, as usual, I'm back at 2 o'clock for LRDI, 10 o'clock for time, speed, distance, and at 5:30 again tomorrow evening 5:30. I'll be doing another strategy session, just like the way I'm giving some inputs. I'll be talking about what is the importance of mock test. Very, very important, because you might have heard this. Mock tests are very important, but I will speak exactly about how important they are, what does it mean to our preparation, etc. Okay, all right. So this is, if you have not downloaded the Unacademy app, maybe this is the time. After this lecture, sit down and download the Unacademy app. So use the code Belvi100. That would be encouraging for both of us. Use that code when you are downloading. It might ask for a code. Use this particular code. I'll be doing some lectures on Wednesday. Wednesdays I'll be doing special classes, which are free special classes. You have some features on the Unacademy app. It would be much more interactive and better. I will see you out there all right when we meet on the Unacademy app. If you like the content of this particular video, maybe at the end of this particular video, surely you can like and you can share the link with others as well. Let them also get benefited. If someone is preparing and you think that, okay, this can be a worthwhile piece of information, let them also watch it, or let they also get kind of benefited. Yes, here we go. Let's continue our discussion. So we stopped by saying that these are the kind of hours we get, somewhere between 50 to 60 hours per week. How I should allocate these hours in a mega structure. Now, even before we do that, first of all, create a broad plan from now to November. Create a plan of action, friends. A lot of us already know. So first you take a look at the macro structure, right? So first get the bigger picture, bigger picture. Some of us miss the bigger picture itself, then we'll try to scramble towards the end. Now, while creating the bigger picture, first understand where are you, in the sense, first understand what is the syllabus of CAT. Right, which means what all I need to cover in LR, what all I need to cover in DI, what all I need to cover. Likewise, all right, now just take a look at what is kind of to be required there, right? Otherwise, let me tell you here, what are the core skills required: reading comprehension, grammar, vocabulary. You may say that, sir, there are no direct grammar question, there are no direct vocabulary question, but these are the building blocks of any language, isn't it? When you're thinking at para summarization, right? When you're looking at para jumbles, for example, hey, your grammar plays an important role. If you're good at grammar, if you have read enough, you don't have to really struggle too much to understand this, the opening sentence of that particular paragraph, right? So therefore, if your grammar is in place, vocabulary is in place, and if you're a good reader, so you don't have to worry much about the para jumbles, the para summaries, right? So whatever these verbal ability skills we call them, critical reasoning, you don't have to worry much about it. You just have to learn those bits, not the now little bit of tweaking, in the sense you may have to just take a little bit of structured understanding about it, and you are done. You are fairly sorted. Now, you assuming that, no, I will not do grammar, I will not do vocab, etc., and I will focus on reading comprehension, I will focus on para jumbles, I will focus on para summary. Come on, all right, now, so I don't know what you are trying to do. Will it work like that? No. Without knowing ABCD, how can I write the words? It is as simple as that. What is ABCD of the language? These are the three things, right? Reading is the ABCD of the language, grammar and the vocabulary. Put this in place. Rest everything starts keep working. All right, because this is the chassis. This is the chassis and the engine kind of thing. You build the body whichever way you want. It will keep working. It starts working. That's an important thing there. Fair enough. Then similarly, when you're looking at the quantitative aptitude, these are the core skills. My geometry should be in place. Solid geometry you generally study in the higher primary and the high school. A lot of theorems you would have studied there, right? Some things like that. Okay, so geometry, arithmetic, that is time, speed, distance, etc. Arithmetic skill is different from geometry skills. Not necessarily, all right, they may be interlinked, but then these are two different skills. Similarly, algebra, you may be good in arithmetic, doesn't necessarily mean that you might be good in algebra. Numbers, the modern maths, all right, which has permutation, combination, the counting kind of business, probability, etc. Right? So these are, I broadly divide it like this. Similarly, the DI, you may say that DI and logic, data interpretation, don't focus on data calculation. I'm telling you that please focus on interpretation. The subject is interpretation. Some people sadly make it as a data calculation. Don't make it a data calculation. Calculation is one last step out there, right? So let's be very clear about about that. Okay, coming back to this. Now, these are the core skills. Assuming that these are my core skills, you may say that, sir, I will add GK also because I'm preparing for exam like IFT. Sure enough. All of these minor ones, please add it. All right, please add it. I'm not saying you don't have to add anything to this list. Add one or two things that you want based on your goal. You are preparing for TIS. GK is important, right? Okay. Fair enough. Let's continue here. Let's continue this journey. Let's continue. So now coming to this, create a broad plan that is from now to November. Keep stock of how much you covered in this and how much is remaining, right? So you kind of know the syllabus, you know your skills there, right? So you kind of know them. Now go there and figure out broad plan, create a broad plan. I did already this much and this is what I have to do yet, right? Till November, revision time. All right, now entire November month is going to be the revision and testing time. It has to be revision and testing time. There is hardly any new learning. Any learning that happens will happen through reinforcement, that is revision and testing. Therefore, when you should be covering entire syllabus by October, worst case scenario. That's a worst case scenario. If you are sitting here and saying that I already finished once, great, wonderful, all right, that's going to be wonderful. But if you think that no, I have not done it, I'm yet to do it, so your planning should not go beyond October. The entire November and December is going to be a completely thorough testing period, right? That's going to be a thoroughly a testing period. Great. All right. Now coming back to this, then what you do once you have this plan till November, break it to weekly milestones. Now bring it down. Okay. So now I have the plan till November. Now bring it down. This week what I should do. Next week what I should do. Next week what I should do. Bring it down to weekly planners, because day by day things can be little different. There are days you may get more time. There are days you may get less time. As I said, some of the working people might get more time on the weekend. All right. Some of the college going students might get more time on the weekend. Also, all of those who are working, you will take leaves naturally. All your CLs, PLs, whatever is there, working people, use all your leaves before CAT. Use all your leaves before CAT. You may say that, sir, after that, while I'm going to give the interviews, I need the off. We'll think of it later, right? We'll think of it later. Assume that you get 99.5%, and you can outrightly resign, my friend. You don't have to accumulate leaves for it. You got 99.5, resign. No, if they are not giving leave during your interview, what you are waiting for? Resign, because anyway you will crack some interview there. No big deal about it. Okay, yeah, any which ways, that's a different issue. Use all your leaves, and those who are in the college, use your holidays effectively. Those who are in the college, all right, use your holidays. There will be semester breaks. All right, there will be some periods of time where it is not very rigorous during the college, right? Use those days very judiciously. You will be able to find that you will get that additional momentum, right? You get a lot of momentum. You can create the momentum. All right, you create momentum. Working people, you create momentum by taking leaves. The college going people, those who are into the college as well as CAT prep, you create that momentum. In between 2-3 days, don't attend college. You know that your attendance required is 85% or 90%, whatever. From university to university, you have some attendance marking scheme. So 85% or 90%, whatever is the minimum limit, get to that minimum limit. You know that there are some days, there are some culturals going on, this or that, not too heavy on the syllabus, or some very light chapter is going on, which you can cover it by yourself with a self preparation. During that time, what you do, or don't attend the college, stay focused. 2-3 days, do it rigorously. That builds the momentum in your brain with respect to CAT preparation. Because with the working people and the college people, sometimes you might lose momentum. Keep creating momentum. For other category, there is no problem in now losing the momentum there. Okay, so let's understand this. This is what you kind of do. Then going to the activities, aggressive reading of 30 minutes to 60 minutes is every day. 30 minutes or 60 minutes of aggressive reading is required. I will tell you this. Okay, so if you are into a top B school campus, for example, let me take an example of I am Ahmedabad, I am Bangalore, whatever, I'm just taking a top B school campus, you end up reading 100 to 200 pages every day. You end up reading 100 to 200 pages every day. So how is this going to happen? That's a different issue. Already you will understand that. Speak to anybody who is in IMA or IMB. When you're in the first 3-4 trimesters, you end up reading 100 to 200 pages in addition to attending the lectures, doing the projects, etc., etc. This is the amount of reading which goes. Now, if you think that, oh, I don't read on a consistent basis 100 to 200 pages. So what happens there is your reading speed would be or reading speed, critical understanding speed, critical thinking speed, all this would collapse, right? So I don't want that. Aggressive reading, sit 30 minutes, simply read, already create that momentum. Your reading speed will increase. Whatever is the current reading speed, if it is 200 words per minute, I'm sure all of you should just do this for about several months. It will stretch up to 500 words per minute. That is what aggressive reading does. Now you not only read at 500 words per minute, you kind of understand as well. That doesn't mean that the cat passages you start reading at 500 words per minute. On the cat day, come down, navigate the speed, whatever is required, but take a novel, take a nice book, take a magazine, whatever it is, time it for 30 minutes, put your mobile in the fly mode, aggressively read for 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever that you want to do that particular job, and do read something little challenging. Read something little challenging, because unless something challenges us, it does not change us. Something to change our mind, it has to challenge. If you do a quant, let it challenge you. If you are doing an LRDI, let it challenge your mind. If you are doing some reading, let it challenge your mind. If it doesn't challenge your mind, it does not change your mind. It does not build any skills. Let it challenge. For example, you go to a gym. You don't take a 1 kg dumbbell and start doing it for 5 minutes. No, it doesn't change you. Rather, you take an appropriate weight, a 7.5 kg dumbbell, 10 kg dumbbell, or 12 kg dumbbell, and do certain reps. That will change your muscle. Precisely, mind is another muscle. It works precisely like that. Ensure that, okay, unless something challenges you, it does not change you. Be it a quantitative question. All right, warm up. Warm up question can be simpler. Before you jump into a nice question on quantitative aptitude, do warm up. Simple questions you do, warm it up, but then hit the depth. Right? Do the same thing with LRDI. Do the same thing with your reading. That's what you got to do. Now do this aggressive reading. It's a non-negotiable parameter. Then input. You are already know your preparation has stages. What are the stages? Input. There is a practice. All right, what some people do is input, 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 input. For example, you go to a swimming coach. You go to a swimming coach. Swimming coach will give a fantastic lecture to you saying that, hey, once you are inside the water, this is how you should do, man. All right, this is how you should beat your legs. This is how you should move your hands. And also, like, you also, he also gets into the water. He shows you those particular strokes. Then who should practice? You should practice. He will show for 5 minutes. How long you end up practicing? 55 minutes. What is that ratio? 1:11. Right? He showed you for 5 minutes, or he gave a pep talk for 10 minutes, but you ended up doing it for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. In a sense, at least the ratio is 1:3 or something like that. Exactly like that. You listen to the lecture. There should be a structured material, because what happens in a lecture, you revise the concept. Input is just two things for me. If you ask me, sir, what is the input that I give, or what is the input that I should get? Input is two things: quick revision of relevant concepts, because most of the concepts come from the high school, right? It is quite likely that you would have conveniently forgotten the concepts. It's quite likely. Therefore, what you do, quick revision of important concept, because there are some unimportant and exciting concepts. Some concepts are unimportant, but they're very exciting. In numbers, there are some remainder questions, etc., which are very, very exciting. But that is for math Olympiad. You are preparing for CAT. Why you are focusing on that? Isn't it very stupid to focus on that? Right? Some things are exciting, but that is not relevant. Therefore, revise the relevant concepts. Once you do the relevant concept, learn approaches. Learn right approaches. Approaches are important because they save time for us. Right to the relevant go to the right approaches. Once you have the approach, come to the practice. Use this concept and approaches that you learned. Whatever the concept and approaches that you learned, you got to put that, which means this ratio should be 1:3. If you listen to the lecture for 1 hour, you better practice it for 3 hours. Okay, 3 may not be all right. It depends. All right, it depends. 1:2 also. Whatever is that ratio, you figure it out. 1:2, 1:3, whatever is this. It is definitely 1:2, because the moment you start working, you get stuck. All right, because when coach is doing it, when I am trying to do it, when somebody is trying to do it, all appears rosy. The moment that support is gone, you sit there. All right, every other problem, the challenging problem, that is start challenging you. All right, you need a lot of determination because it challenges you. You want to kind of give it up, right? You want to go back and listen something there. That will not happen. Just by listening, no change will happen. By practicing, you will be sending the signals to the brain, right? That is when the brain structure, neurons will get active and they will get altered. That's a science. Little bit of science out there. So therefore, practice time is very, very important. Why most of them fail is they want a lot of inputs and less practice. Will that help anybody? No. No Olympic champion will need a lot of input and less output. Right? So it's always about input and more practice. The doubts you get, the moment you do practice, the next trouble that you end up is the doubts. You will get doubts. Had it been like this, what happens? Had it been like that, what happens? You need a mentor or you need a study group where you can discuss those particular doubts. If you don't practice, you will not get doubts as well. The more you practice, you get solid doubts. Some doubts you will be able to resolve yourself. Some doubts you need some help. You need a help from a buddy. You need a help from a mentor. Somewhere you need that particular help. Then what should happen? Sectional tests are important. Even the chapter wise tests are important. It's good to take a chapter wise test. It is good to take a chapter wise test. That will be a nice closure. It will be a very good closure if you take a chapter wise test. If not chapter wise test, do a couple of chapters and then take a sectional test. Test is very important. Ultimately, you are preparing for a test. And what is the point preparing without having the test in my calendar? In a weekly calendar, if I am not taking any test, then what is that I'm preparing for? Your mind will always tell you that, hey, you have to prepare still more to take the test. Oh, that is a procrastination, my friend. Never do that mistake. There are a lot of people who made such mistake and paid a rich penalty for it. What is the penalty? One more year of repetition. To write that CAT, you have to wait for 1 year, and that is not worth it. All right, no, that's not worth it. For that, all you got to do is what? Tests you please include in your weekly calendar. Fix the dates. Wednesday, I'm going to write this test. Friday, I'm going to write this test. Sunday, I'm going to write this test on your Excel sheet, your calendar. Unless you fix that day and you fix that date, it is not going to happen. Ensure that you got going to fix them up. Input time, your practice time, you got to fix them on your calendar. What is your input time? What's your practice time? What is your going to be your section? What's your going to be sectional test time? Your full length test time? That's important. And a lot of people forget this revision time. Include revision time in your weekly calendar. So how many hours? That's up to you. That's up to you. How to do revision? I will take another lecture on that. Another lesson I will take on that. How to do revisions, because a lot of people won't know how to do the structured revision. I will speak about the structured revision in one other lecture. Okay, now this is a little bit of background about what I wanted to convey it to you. Today, I hope I started by categorizing by saying that there are three types of people who prepare for CAT, and we kind of looked at the time management in the sense how much time we get in a week and what are the important elements that we should consider while we are trying to speak about in that particular week's preparation. Right? I hope already you all enjoyed this particular lecture, this particular strategic video. I'm sure it would have given you some good insights. You can put in the comment if some of you got some good insights from here. You can put it in the comment, and you can also put that like button you can press, and you can follow me on this. Right? Okay, let me stop with the closure comments. Meanwhile, you can put your comments there. Meanwhile, you can put your comments in the chat, and after chat also you can put that comment. If you are listening after this, you can put that. All right, Stuti, as usual, you've been always encouraging. Thank you. Yeah, okay. There are new plus batches which are commenced. There are new plus batches which are just commenced. That's on 18th, the 21st, and 18th, etc. So just about they commenced fantastic courses. So by some of the good faculty members. So ensure that already if you are looking for a structured course, you can follow them. And if you are looking for the live mentorship, already now here there is a one-to-one mentoring or mentorship available. So you can use this code to avail some discount. And if you are preparing for CAT 22, not CAT 21, preparing for CAT 22, you can go for a year or 2 year subscription, whichever helps you, CAT 22 or CAT 23. And you will, along with the 1 year subscription, you get 3 month subscription fees free, and etc. etc. And if you have not taken the combat test, right, maybe this weekend could be a right time. This happens every Sunday at 12 p.m. This happens every Sunday afternoon 12 p.m. Write it. There are fantastic scholarships which are available there. So, and you can avail this code whenever you are getting onto the Unacademy platform. And if it asks for any educator code or any code, irrespective of the course, you can always use the code Belvi 100 and you can get the subscription or the downloads, etc. out there. Okay, so I will end my announcements here and also the strategic inputs out here. A couple of questions. Meet is asking a question, sir. How many marks should we have to give in this particular month? Meet, I will be discussing this in tomorrow's session, tomorrow's lecture. Right? Anyway, that's the objective of the tomorrow's lecture. Why don't you wait till tomorrow? So if you wait till tomorrow, you will get some understanding of this. Fair enough. All right, guys. Goodbye. See you at 10 p.m. tonight with time, speed, distance lecture. So bye till then. Stay blessed.